It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Why, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. And you know what that is. It is time to start Dishin Days, where we're giving you a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, if you are watching us live and in living color and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we go live or when we've uploaded some brand new content for you. And I promise you, very, very soon, you are going to be overwhelmed with some content.
When, Tony? When?
Oh, hopefully this week. I will say I've been editing my little butt off, and you will have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos thus far with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 5 that I need to edit, and I'm hoping to get those done today. So, yes, you are going to be inundated with some wonderful content, late but wonderful content. And if you haven't already, make sure if you want to be a part of our exclusive members only page that you do join on your laptop or tablet on our YouTube channel. You can click the join button, and for $4.99 a month, you can check out some wonderful content. You can also be able to come on when we have a guest and ask them a question. And you can attend our virtual bi-monthly events. For those of you who are members, you'll get an email later, but also announcement, our next virtual event will be February 22nd. February 22nd will be our next virtual event, so don't miss out on that. And I promise you, it is $4.99. If it's not $4.99, you might not be in the country and they charge you more.
Oh, is that what?
I believe that's what it is. I got an email from someone that said, look, it's proof that I pay $6.99. And I looked everywhere and I was like, it says $4.99 everywhere. And I was like, why is he paying more? And they were like, maybe it's a country thing. So you're outside of the US, you might be paying more. Not my fault.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Weird YouTube international tax.
Right. And of course, if you don't have time to watch us live and you need to listen to us later, maybe while you're doing some gardening or maybe taking a beach day, or maybe you're sitting out in the middle of a snowstorm, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast station, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or wherever podcasts can be found. And we want you to show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, Mr. James Lott Jr., who is serving up a couple of forks, knives, and spoons of his own. Yes, over at JLJ Media on YouTube and on your favorite podcast stations, you will find a recap of Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, General Hospital, Beyond the Gates, and, of course, some original audio dramas produced, directed, starring, and written by Mr. James Lott Jr. So head on over to JLJ Media on YouTube or where podcasts can be found, because James Lott Jr. needs all of your subscribers, because he is so old that he was around when the word subscribers was invented. Do you know Merriam-Webster, who is in charge of the dictionary? Yep. Him and James are best friends. Yeah. Also, be sure to tell us your thoughts throughout the show, and we want to hear from you. So make sure you comment in our chat. All right, let me go ahead and address this. Anthony Owen, girl, I don't know why you're paying $6.99, because it is $4.99 everywhere. Everywhere I have looked, it says $4.99. If you are paying more than $4.99, you must have clicked a different button because everywhere on our membership it says $4.99. I checked, I double checked, I triple checked. I even emailed you back and said if it's somewhere else it is $4.99. All you said was thanks, Tony, and that's it. I thought problem was solved. Here we are again with the $6.99. Child, I don't know why you're paying $6.99. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know why. I checked. Dylan says he pays $9.95 because it's in Australia.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God. Wow.
yeah. So here we go. Thank you, Jen. I'm in Nashville and I pay $4.99. There you go. I know it is $4.99. It's $4.99. Child, I don't know. Oh my God, that sounded like I was crashing out over that $4.99.
Yeah.
You must have spent a great deal of time dedicated to that $4.99, which is the only reason you would crash out over it.
Well, I really did because, like the thing about it is with us, we always want to treat everyone fairly.
Yeah.
Whenever we do anything, we have completely thought about it. Even we discussed, the membership. We were kind of against it for the longest time. And we were like, listen, if we're going to do this, then, we have to make sure we're providing the best thing for them. And we went over it. We talked about the perks and what we can do and what we can't do and things like that. And we were like, all right, we're going to forge through and do this. So then when someone's like, oh my God, I'm paying $6.99, it freaks me out because I'm like, I know that I checked and I double checked. And before everything went live, I made sure that we were all good. And then to get that, it's like, I don't know why you're paying $6.99. And I thought I found the answer. And then it was last week he was in the chat saying that. I looked and looked and looked, and then he's back in the chat saying it again. And I'm just like, girl, at this point, I don't know why, because everybody else is paying $4.99.
Yeah.
So
at that point, it's not at that point, we've done all we can on our end because we've double, triple checked written directions, blah, blah, blah. Guys, we care about you so much. We have staff meetings. Do you know that we had to have, at the top of the year, we had a staff meeting just to address all the things we were going to do this year for you guys?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, so yes. So that might be it. Cancel and rejoin. Child, I don't know. At this point, I don't know what to tell you because there's no other like little button. Like there's no levels or anything.
All the time.
Yeah. So anywho's it. Of course, throughout the show, we will be hearing from some amazing fans during our fun segment that's called Sound Off. That's right. We want to make sure that we hear you guys throughout. And again, if you guys want to sound off at any time, you can always send in a video or audio, 30 seconds with your name, where you're from, and your 30-second rant on what happened this week in Days. And make sure you send that to us. All the instructions can be found on our Instagram. So make sure you do that. Now, if any of you are like, how come it's the same people? Because y'all don't send nothing in. So there you go. Yep. All right. Welcome to Dishin Days. What did we think of this week's episodes of Days?
I liked it. I think it was a lot of setup for some stuff that's coming down. We got a few answers on some things, which, yeah, I mean, I like the way they're going with it. Some of these, I was like, oh, why do we care about this stuff? But it makes sense how they're trying to weave it into a bigger storyline. So I'm interested, at least.
Yeah, there are a lot of good moments. And with, I think, every single storyline, it's every single storyline this week. You're gonna say, and I was right. That's what you're gonna hear. I was right.
It was okay for me. I still feel like there are moments where I'm like, I just don't know where this is going. I don't know what's happening. But as I'm on the treadmill, there I am watching it. So yeah. So no, Megan, we're not sick of you. Keep sending your videos. All right. Okay. Well, let's dive into it, shall we?
On to the show.
On with the show. It is now time to start
Dishin
Dishin
Days.
Days. And for those who can already tell, Michael Mattis is not with us today because he and MLM Images are shooting a Grammy watch party today. So
it's Grammy weekend.
Yes. So y'all make sure y'all show him some love at MLM Images so you can see what he's up to when he's not here. Dishin Days with us. All right, everyone, let's get into it. It is now time for our top storylines from our favorite little show, Days of Our Lives. And we're going to start with our first storyline, which is, you hear about Stefano? Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the... Y'all start.
Okay.
I told you so. I knew it was Stefano.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did.
I was kind of confused about. I was kind of confused about anyone who said it wasn't Stefano. That's my
Okay.
Anything else besides you were right?
I don't know. That seems pretty on par with everything else. That. I don't know. It's like it seems like everybody's emotions around the subject were accurate. Like anybody else but Roman, I would have said, "Hey, you could tone it down a little bit. You could tone down your enthusiasm a little bit," because I wouldn't put it past Roman to actually dance an Irish jig on Stefano's tombstone, to actually get his 80-year-old butt onto the sarcophagus and start dancing a jig.
It's interesting because I felt the mixed emotions about the confirmation of the bones being Stefano's. I think, like, even though they kind of knew Stefano most likely was dead, but to have like the final confirmation, surprisingly, I think we would have expected like different reactions from people, especially someone like Marlena. But when she put that spin on it of like, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have found John. I was like, oh, wow. What a way to put a positive spin on this man,
She's not wrong.
Yeah. And so, and then the first person I noticed that kind of had mixed emotions was Kate. Because even though, like, Stefano obviously was a horrible, horrible, horrible man. At one point, she loved him and married him. And I think it was just a mix of emotions and everything. I will also say this. It was almost 10 years ago that Hope shot Stefano. Almost. I Googled or Binged. I said, when did Hope shoot Stefano? It was February 11th, 2016.
Wow. They
kept this man alive for almost 10 more years. First of all, that's crazy.
Well, the essence of him, anyway.
The essence of him,
whether in a microchip or his presence, his spirit haunting them for all eternity, which he probably will continue to do.
All of the above, but that is crazy. But also, what an impact that a character has, to where even when you kill them off the show and even when they pass in real life, their essence, their presence, everything that they have created still lives on.
Yeah. And I know that it might seem kind of like deflating almost, since it's been 10 years since since that moment that, some people might have mixed emotions or be disappointed in the way that Stefano is finally laid to rest. But the way that Rolf explained it makes perfect sense to me, because Stefano would refuse to ever admit defeat. Like, even when he was thwarted, he never admitted defeat. So, of course, he would never admit that he was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, even when I didn't care whose bones they were bones of a dead person. It seemed like they suspected the bones were from someone who we already previously thought was dead, whether that's Stefano or Abigail or someone else. I like the fact that they're tying it into the idea that it is now 7 to 10 years. So now his estate basically is up for the inheritance is coming through. That makes more sense to me as to why we're sort of dealing with Stefano's death again. So I'm glad they tied it to something that makes more sense. It's a way to bring in the stuff with Vivian and Stefan, and all these siblings are now at odds with each other at the moment. So that is a nice way to tie it in. I also think there's a little bit of a deficit of like Stefano's always been the big bad, that the show has not really invested in other people to take over, not necessarily take over that mantle, but shift the focus so that it's now 10 years later and we're still dealing with Stefano Demira. Like, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, he was such a big presence on the show. Yeah, but he's ostensibly been gone 10 years now. We're still like, no pun intended, but like picking the bones of Stefano Demira.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a pun intended.
Huh?
There was a pun intended.
Yeah. And for those reasons, and for the fact that it's just time to lay that man to rest, lay the legacy to rest. And it's almost like each of the Demiras has been living in a sort of limbo, not expecting him to walk through the door again, but it's almost like the next generation can't move forward until we put that chapter behind us.
But this is me rewriting the show. I would have loved to have seen, obviously, maybe someone like EJ realize, like, things with the estate are like, or even Rita coming in and being like, well, your father's estate needs to be taken care of and or whatever. And then it's almost like the Demira back call happens where suddenly, Chad's invested, Theo's invested, Kristen's invested, Peter comes out of nowhere, like Dimitri, like all of a sudden all these Demiras come, and it's almost trying to figure out now, like, all right, now what do we do? And I think this would have been the perfect opportunity to really see the rise of another Phoenix. Do you know what I mean? Like even if there was a Demira that no one knew about.
Again.
Oh God.
Sure.
No,
but this time he or she was truly the essence of Stefano. Like I would have, and I know that they tried. They tried.
That's the problem.
Hold on. They tried with Stefan. They tried with Megan. They tried with Dimitri. They tried with EJ. There's all these tries. But I really kind of wish, and I think it would have been so good if secretly Days was trying to find that one person that could really embody this new age Stefano. I would have loved to, and then to see how this Demira was linked and where they came from and stuff, and then for them to really truly be the person that's like running Demira, and that, like, I would, because then that would have maybe even set up everyone else kind of being either for them or against them, and the rise of maybe the Demiras again, because we keep saying that the Demiras have fallen. So there needs to be that key person again to make them rise again. I think it would have been interesting. That's just me.
I agree with you. Before you were going to say that, I was going to say they're lacking a leader, and even someone like Tony, who's the oldest, there's no interest in him doing it. Do you know what I mean? There's no, like, I think we say like all these other people had chances, but I feel like they never really invested in. Like, I would love to see Megan do it or Kristen do it, but they're not investing in these characters to actually give them the reins. You know what I mean? Like, having Megan come in on a plot line is great, but then, you know, she's thwarted by Salem PD and, you know, and then is on the run. It's like, okay, well, how much are you actually investing in this character being the new big bad? They need something to reunite this family or unite.
I don't necessarily want there to be a next big bad, at least not in the terms of the way the Phoenix was, because my gut says you try, you fail, you try, you fail. It's just not going to work. Like, you keep trying and trying and trying, and no one's going to be able to fill Joe Mascalo's shoes. It's just not going to work. If you can't even recast a character that iconic, then there's no point in bothering trying to say, oh, this is the next generation, this is the next big bad. The better way to honor what he did and to honor the DiMera legacy as it stands is to bring this family together as they are now and figure out what pieces of Stefano do they each have, what qualities do they have, and bring them together as a family. Because that is what they're missing, is that they were all in pieces, like we were saying for years, that we needed the DiMeras to be all under one roof again. Well, now we have a ton of DiMeras here. They're in Salem, they're in the presence, and we just have to figure out how to best use them together.
Great, but we don't need anyone to fill Stefano's shoes. Yeah. We just need someone who has the similar brand.
I mean, the closest would be EJ.
Yeah, but
he has his own thing. I get what you're saying to fill the big bad thing, but I'm not sure that is. I mean, to me, that's more of a casting thing of like you have intention behind it, but that it's also timing. That's landing in a bottle. Truly, it's the thing about those kinds of things, like the big bads and the big villains and the divas and the power couples and things like that, is that a big part of it is luck. Is you can try, you can do everything right with casting, you can do everything right with writing, but then you have to have like the right amount of luck to just catch lightning in a bottle like that. And I don't think that we're going to get that. No, and I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm just saying I don't have high hopes that we're going to get that again.
Well, that's just because people there aren't investing in sticking with this character is going to be this. Yeah. EJ could have been the new Stefano. However, they've tossed him back and forth between nice and kind and having a conscience. Like, Stefano was very much like, bitch, I'm evil. Like, I want what I want. Family comes first. I will protect them. But what I want something, I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Stefan could have been that. Yeah. But yet they kept. And it's like, we don't need someone that's going to flip-flop. We need somebody who's going to come in and really embody the essence of what we know a DiMera to be.
Yeah. And when you have everyone in the family trying to be it's like when we talk about the CEO stuff where we got sick of, where everyone wants to be the CEO and then they don't invest in someone. It's like, okay, well, someone needs to be number 2 or number 3, or someone needs to fall back. Like, if EJ's now focused on the hospital and he's doing his stuff, and then Chad is out and Kristen, wants to separate herself from the family a bit here, great. Like, bring back Stefan and make that him, or bring back Megan and really invest in giving them the storyline to do that. Don't undermine them by someone coming in 5 minutes later and they could take everything they just brought to the table. It's like, okay, well, I guess they're not so great then.
Yeah.
I will say, I thought that Chad who's always been very even keeled about Stefano, and a lot of that again is the fact that he wasn't raised by Stefano. He met him as an adult essentially, and has always had 1 foot in, 1 foot out regarding Stefano. So I think his take is always the most measured. I also thought Kate's was great about he did some horrible things, but she has a long history with this man. Even when she wasn't married to him, she worked for him as a prostitute when she was younger, and that's what kept her alive and got her away from Curtis and helped her support Lucas and put him through school and put herself through business school. So there's I get the the double-edged sword regarding him. So I appreciate that we get those perspectives too. That I thought Johnny was he could have been a little bit when he invited them at the end about the memorial. I was like, okay, maybe a little too far there. I don't know if that needed to be. I don't know if you needed to extend an invite to them about the memorial.
Well, it's just like he doesn't have anyone to invite. That's the thing, is because everybody else in his family hates him, and there's a very limited number of people he's speaking to on the other side of the family.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll see how they come together to remember Stefano. But I do think that since the passing of Joe, we just haven't had. We've come so close, but we haven't had the commitment of such a diabolical character. And someone said earlier, the viewers of the 80s accepted that, but the viewers now won't. I think the viewers now would accept someone who is villain-like, but that makes sense. And I think of, if you're not watching, I think of Beyond the Gates and how Dana Leslie is the villain of that show. But it's not the villain in which she's switching pregnancy tests and everything like that. She's just a bitch, and she goes after what she wants. So a villain can take on many different forms. So maybe this new Stefano can take on the form of I'm all about the Damares by any means necessary, and does the things that need to be done in order to make sure that the family and the Damares are protected. That's it. But we need if the decision to bring someone in is going to be like that, then they just have to stick with it. They have to write that person that and there's no someone's going to make them soft or anything like that. I think that's for later. We saw how but I mean, there can be someone that's soft that makes them soft, but but it doesn't overshadow, Someone said Clyde is the team. I know.
But that we talk about that before too. That was a perfect example. Clyde was such an interesting, different villain than we have ever seen on Days, and they wasted him. Let's be honest. He could have been. That to me is an example of bringing in someone else who has a different dynamic, a different villainry, and could also have been running the show as the big bad. He still had his vulnerability regarding, Ben and Jordan to an extent. He had the issue with, seemed like he loved his wife who had passed, but he was still a villain there and really bad. But, they didn't invest in actually making him that,
Yeah. Okay. Well, since it's kind of starting, I want to hear, because some other people have some other interesting things. They've said Clyde, they've said Constantine. Couldn't do it.
Interesting if they went with it, invested in him, not made him, he's targeting Maggie for money. There could have been a lot of interesting things they could have done with that character.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I'm just wondering, who how do I phrase this? Who could have been a potential supervillain, much like a Stefano, that has been seen on Days already? A lot of people have said Deimos. let's see. Who could have been a super villain? No, sorry. Which character from Days, past or present, could have been a super villain, much like a Stefano?
I mean, to my mind, the only person I think that could have pulled it off would be Megan. She has the pedigree. She has the history on the show. With, not just as a Demera, but with other characters. They established that she off screen had connections to the von Leichners, so puts her in direct proximity to the Alamains as well. So that was a case where, yeah, if they had invested in her beyond the minimal time that she was on screen, yeah, she would have fit the mark perfectly, I think.
Yeah.
I think also someone like Ian. Remember Ian? He could have been interesting. That was the interesting foe for Stefano.
Ian.
Kate's old
medicine. Oh, Ian.
Yeah.
What's the name? Yeah.
Ian Buchanan.
Yeah. Yes. Ian, Deimos, Clyde, Megan. Some people have said Andre. I mean, that could have been interesting if someone said Vivian.
Yeah.
Someone said Benji. Yeah, isn't there a Benji?
Yeah. That could have been an interesting turn if they,
Orpheus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll check back in on this. So now that I know who's an Aramid and who's not.
Not Aramid. You mean Alamein?
Whatever. Now, after many months, it looks like Liam is somehow being connected, tied into something.
Yay, I guess. We'll see. I don't know what this is.
Yes, it's nice that they're finally giving Hank Northrop something to do.
Yeah.
Besides saying that he can't read.
Yeah.
So today I was like, when we were watching the episode, I was like, okay, we're starting to know a little more about Liam. So let's review what we know about Liam, shall we? He is a single dad of a 5-year-old named Gage. The mother OD'd. He has been court ordered to do these reading lessons with Abe. And he has a mysterious cut on his hand that may or may not link him to the kidnappings of the Demeras.
Yeah.
I think our problem is that 90% of this we should have known in November.
Yes.
It's a childhood plea of Theo's.
Yeah. This is all very fascinating stuff that we should have learned 4 months ago, right off the bat. There was also zero reason to drag this out.
Again, it sounds interesting. We're tying him to these kidnappings, so we're tying him to a character who, again, is not on the show again. We're tying him to Peter Blake, who for the moment is quote unquote dead. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, how excited can you get? I'm trying to, but I'm also like, okay, well.
Yeah, pacing is a really, like, when we say it, like, again, this is not us like hating on the show, but this
pacing is everything.
Ahead schedule, pacing is everything. Pacing is a really, really big issue right now. This back and forth of you make a big fuss about this is when this character is going to do, and then we don't get anywhere for months. It's the same thing that we got with Kat and Chad for the longest time, where such a big deal was made about Kat's character, and we got good stuff for a bit, and then it dragged for months.
Araceli, you just have to let that go. You have to let that go.
You would think you would be all gung-ho that I'm finally agreeing with you, Tony.
I just wanted to be
Instead of being passive.
I just wanted to be able to use your words against you. You just have to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I'm not ranting on it. I am making a very valid argument. I am not nitpicking because it's an overarching argument for the entire show. I am not nitpicking on one teeny tiny little detail from last year.
No, that's not. That is a consistent detail that Days does, announcing people who are not going to be on the show for another 5 years.
Yes, but you specifically were upset about Connor Floyd being announced
because that was the last one. But the overall thing is how they announced. I could say the same about Hank. I can say the same about Anna Lynn. I can say the same about Allison Sweeney when she comes on. Like every time they announce someone, we are super excited, but we won't see them for another 9 months. And then it's like hyped up and we're super excited and we're trying to figure out, okay, how are they going to bring them on and things like that. And then it's like, oh, I could have just waited until the week before to like know like what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Hooray, Liam is getting some screen time, hopefully this coming week, and a plot that we can enjoy, and fingers crossed. Because we do like Hank Northrup. It's just give him more to do, give us something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Chanel, stop it, please.
What?
Stop. If Johnny wants to reach out to his father because his grandfather's death has been confirmed, let him. Just let him.
Girl.
It doesn't mean the destruction of your marriage or your family. Just let him. Or at least say, you know what, Johnny, I'm going to back out of this. I have very strong feelings. I'm going to let you handle it. Yeah. I know when she told him no, and I was like, oh, he's literally like kind of wanting just for you to agree with him as his wife. And like, I want to show a little bit compassion here for my dad. I'm still effing pissed at him and, but.
Well, also, I think this is one of those moments where it's like, who else does he have?
Yeah.
Who else does he have?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have anyone. Like anyone that's going to care, about, Stefano and things like that, to kind of be there to support him.
And ironically, they stopped a really interesting conversation. Again, it was with Chad when he found out and he was with Theo, but I was like, can we have a Johnny and Theo scene? They both have very similar. Again, this goes back to what I complained last week. Like, we forget they're the cousins. Like, they're not related through Chanel. They're not, family through Chanel. They're actually cousins who grew up together, who have very similar relationships to Stefano. It's like cut or rinse and repeat with both of them. Mm-hmm. They both recognize their grandfather was a complicated man, but they were very close to him and they love him. It's like, have Johnny have that conversation with Theo. Like, I think Theo can handle it. He's getting out of the hospital. He was in there for a while. Like, he can have that conversation with Johnny. I feel like that was a really missed opportunity to have them converse with each other as the two cousins who are currently on the show and the only cousins on the show, and they have a relationship and they're seeing each other regularly. Like, let them have that conversation about Stefano.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about like tying in the next generation and allowing them to carry the mantle moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, so before we close this out, there was a kind of brief interaction between Kristen and Rafe, where Rafe was questioning Kristen about Stefano's bones, right? And if he had checked with EJ. But one of our fans who wanted to sound off on this noticed this. Check this out.
Hello, Dishin Days. My name is Manny. I'm from San Diego, California. I would like to sound off on Kristen and Rafe. I've noticed a certain spark between them in their recent scenes together. I think it's time for Kristen to find a new man in her life who will help her forget about obsessing over Brady. I would be open to seeing a relationship develop between Kristen and Rafe because it's something new, and I don't think it has been developed before between those two characters. Thank you.
I thought that was a very interesting take on that. What do you guys think? Do you think Kristen and Rafe have a spark?
We'll see. I 100% think Kristen is Rafe's type. She is the epitome of the woman that he actually gravitates towards. I know he loves to think he likes the good girl, but he really doesn't. When you look at his history, it's filled with the Sammys, the Kates, the crazy Jordans. So she is his type. I think the issue with this is, and I'm not opposed to it, this to me is the same issue they have with Belle and EJ. They either, one of them has to change or it's not going to work if they decide to go down this road. Either we need to see Kristen turn over a completely new leaf, maybe not get rid of her bite, or we need to have Rafe, I don't know, either Rafe is the quintessential good guy here. You know what I mean? It's not going to work unless something happens, unless they change one of their characters.
I mean, I definitely just think Kristen needs something else to work on besides.
Yeah.
Brady's love life.
Kristen needs a man. Kristen needs a man who can handle her, who can give her what she needs.
And listen, we
convince Brady that no, she's not obsessing over him anymore.
And I feel like we saw a glimpse of that when they paired her with Alex for a hot second, for like a little hot rendezvous. And we were like, oh, okay. But yeah, they need something.
Yeah.
They need something.
Yeah.
So far, I did a poll on our YouTube, and surprisingly, as of right now, it's 50-50. People think that they should explore. A little over the edge now.
How about we give it a little more time?
People think it's kind of split 50-50 right now. And they're going back and forth between yes and no. So
it's definitely a different dynamic.
Yeah. If they can make it work, why not? All right. Well, that was our first stop. That was our first top storyline, and now we're going to move on to our next top storyline, which is Bayview Besties.
Oh, no.
I honestly think one of the most interesting storylines on Days is Sophia Choi.
Love her.
Yeah, we got a turn for the better with this week.
She's full on crazy now, and I love it.
She's so full on crazy that even Melinda's like...
Melinda looked terrified.
She was like, oh, wait, you can speak? And she was like, yeah, and have been able to for quite some time. I was like, bitch, Sophia.
What's crazy? As we're talking about like the next generation of big bads, what's so ironic is that in my mind, the next generation of big bads is all of the youngins.
Yeah.
Because they're all diabolical. Sophia, Rachel, obviously, but even little Thomas, the way that he was that little kid. I mean, I know he seems innocent, but I could totally see him being an emotional manipulator, and he's Stefano Demira's grandson, so that would fit.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we'll get to that later, but the fact that Thomas got Chad to put it in writing to not pursue Kat,
so all of these kids totally have the potential because they're it's bonkers the way that they rationalize. We were talking about how they do whatever it is for the sake of their goal. That's they're singular minded.
I'm just wondering, what exactly does Sophia have cooking? Because you can, and shout out to Rachel Boyd, because the majority of this character now has to be conveyed through facial expressions.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
And she is doing an amazing job expressing the feelings that we need to feel when she's not speaking.
Mhm.
And so the look in her face when she was looking at pictures of baby Trey, I think that will always be a soft spot. But you can also see her without rolling her eyes at the fact that Trey is with Chanel and Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Then the big slap in the face is for her to look at Chanel and be like, "Oh, now Heffa, you pregnant?"
It's all right here. And
Yeah.
it's like watching her, and I don't know that's why I feel like everybody around her is just so stupid, because I don't know. I know it's subtle. I know it's just in her eyes, but I don't know how you could look her in the eyes and not see the actual menace that is lurking behind there. How could Chanel go into that room and not look at Sophia and think, "Oh my God, she's gonna come for my kid"?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And agreed to say to Sophia, once you get out, we want you to have a presence in Trey's life. I was like, okay, girl, that maybe a little too far, but I get the sentiment. But they also, again, they need to commit to her being that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now we're getting she has a plan. She wants to get out. We see like the wheels turning. Let's see her do it.
Yeah.
Also, don't set her up to fail. Not that I'm saying she should succeed with stealing a baby and whatever, but give her some sort of win or give us something to also root for her. You know what I mean? Like one things we loved about, just bring up Stefano, as evil as he was entertaining to watch. He was enjoyable. And a lot of times we rooted for him.
Instead of seeing her kind of do these little plans of like sneaking out but getting caught, having a phone, I just, again, I like visuals. I want her to somewhere just have this diabolical plan on how she's going to get back at Tate, Holly, Chanel, and Johnny. And when she gets out, I just would love to see how she implements that plan. And it just, and again, it goes so flawlessly.
Yep.
That no one suspects, no one is like, and I don't want her to be too much. Like there was a moment where I was like, "Ooh, I hope she doesn't try to kill Chanel's baby." You know what I mean? I don't want that. I just want her to seek revenge that's so good to where she's always just kind of like, "Oh no, Holly, I'm so sorry to hear about Tate. Come, I think that would be just such edge of your seat entertainment to see her almost she devil like just have that just like checking like stuff off. Holly's hot body check. Take her break up check. And then adding people to the lead. Oh, Ari wants to get involved. Well, Ari can get a taste too. You know what I mean? Like just my
but
God.
I also feel like, and not that I would know who this person is. I feel like she needs like a mentor or a sponsor or a team up. You know what I mean? I feel like I think Sophia is someone who she's almost on the cusp, but she needs a little bit extra something, whether that's money, whether that's a place to live with someone, whether, you know what I mean? I feel like she needs a little bit of support or help around her. And it's, I think that's what she's missing.
Where's Jan Spears when you need her?
Or, you know what I mean? Something like that, to be like, girl, let me make sure you got a place to live. So let me, come stay with me. You don't have to worry about that. I support you. Want to go after so-and-so? I'll support you. Whether that's, keeping you financially stable or, assisting in your plots. I don't know, but she needs something. I need a little like boost from her because we've already had I also don't want it to be like high school where she's playing little games or just making quips. Like make her really, we need a win for her in a plot somehow.
Can you imagine one or two of these things happening? I thought of the first, but I think I'm going to go with the latter. Can you imagine Sophia getting out and as a part-time job, she answers the ad to be a live-in nanny that's flexible, and, allows her, of course, to go to school, but have a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And the person she's being a nanny for is Jan Spears and her baby.
I would love it. I would love it.
For a second, I thought
much.
you were going to say Johnny and Chanel, and she's like in a wig and makeup or something as the nanny.
No.
I thought that's where you were going.
And Sophia has no clue about Jan, but is somehow just minimal help with like the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will be weird because she gave up her own baby, but I think it would somehow like help that need, like that one of like, oh, I couldn't be a mother, but I can kind of be like a semi-mother to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's almost like Sophia has her plan of getting back at people.
Mm-hmm.
Jan has her plan of getting back at people, and somehow like it's connected or it crosses. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she needs to team up with someone. I don't know what that is or what that person will look like, but I think she needs some support in an interesting way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like that that just made it feel like Days again. Like these just like this moment where you're just like, oh my God, like this feels like how Days used to be. Yeah. Oh my God, this would.
Yes.
Listen, I know that you guys are voting for me for head writer. I can be a consultant and take a fee. I can do that. Can you imagine, like, if I somehow got like a consulting job at Days? Oh my God. And then I still somehow write myself in.
Probably. Yes, I can totally see that.
Oh,
yes. Well, anyways, anybody who's not afraid of Sophia should be. Melinda. I mean, look, personal consequences be damned. Melinda needs to warn somebody.
Melinda, Melinda's like, baby, listen, because remember, what Sophia has on Melinda is the fact that she helped her with the adoption. And in a roundabout way, Sophia reminded her of like, bitch, I got you. So like, keep it cute. Because she was like, oh my God, Melinda, thank you so much for helping me with the whole adoption thing. You haven't told anyone, right? I just want to keep my name. Oh, of course. And I was like, got him. Got him. And thank you for that reminder, because bitch, we forgot.
I'm curious about that, just because I feel like the people who would affect, I feel like they already blame Melinda, and I feel like they've also reconciled with it because we have Brady hiring her too. So I feel like he's sort of kind of forgiven her. So I'm curious about what the consequences would be when it feels like everyone either knew or suspected it, and it is kind of moved on regarding Melinda.
But it hasn't been confirmed.
It is something for her to, like, I guess kind of have over her.
The thing about it is they can forgive her. It was never confirmed, but imagine if it is confirmed. This is round 2, because she also helped with the whole adoption with Sloan.
Yeah.
And basically stealing like somebody else's kid. Yeah. So that will just drudge up everything else to where people are like, you got to go. Give me your license. Goodbye.
We'll see. I mean, I know the Sophia one seems to be the smallest of everything she's ever done on the show. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't know, but it seems like everyone seems to be fine with her nowadays.
Yeah. On to Rachel, our other guest in Bayview. I just feel like she's so young and she can be manipulated in so many ways, and I really feel like Kristen needs to Kristen needs to recognize that there is an issue, and she needs to be a mother, and not a friend. I feel like she's trying to be a friend.
I feel so bad for Rachel because she just has such terrible parents. Like, just completely inept. You know, Kristen wants to be a friend. Kristen has a problem with boundaries. And now she's working on isolating her almost. Like saying Belle doesn't know what's best and Brady doesn't know what's best. And no, she's not going to be in the Demira house anymore. So what are you going to do? Yeah. And then Rachel is telling you that she doesn't get along with children her age, of course, because in some ways she is more mature than them. But then that means that just means that you have to work harder to find children her age that she can relate to. The answer is not to cut her off from adults. The answer is not to say that necessarily that she can't be friends with who she wants to be, but that she can't be, but she has to learn boundaries. You know what I mean? And then Brady just, I'm so stuck on stupid at this point with him that I don't even know what to criticize anymore. I'm just saying everything Brady does is wrong.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people share your sentiments as far as Kristen as a mom. And we had some lovely people who wanted to sound off about Kristen as a mom. They're our favorite people from Tacoma, Washington.
Hi, Melissa. I'm her sister, Myrtle Hope, and we're from Tacoma, Washington. And this week, we want to rant about Kristen. I do not think Kristen has been a good mother lately. I don't think she's been a good mother ever, but I do believe she loves Rachel. I just don't think she knows what's best for her. Trying to pull Rachel out of Bayview when she so clearly needs help, even if Bayview's not the one to give it to her, Rachel does need help in some capacity. And telling Belle not to tell her the truth about the potential outcomes of this trial, I think that's setting Rachel up for disaster and to have further issues. And I just don't think Kristen has the emotional stability or like the mental wherewithal to be able to handle Rachel and all of her troubles. Real talk. Thanks, guys.
They are like easily becoming my favorite family.
I know.
So here's
Araceli approves.
Here's a little behind the scenes tea is that they send in multiple and I go through and I pick out like the best ones. But like those girls have all kinds of thoughts about the show. So
and they're 100% right on this point. They're just such bad. They're bad parents. Rachel has a bad therapist. I mean, like, I can't even be angry at this little girl anymore because she just has so many terrible people around her. It's not her fault.
I just go ahead.
I was gonna say they're just not modeling good behavior. They're really not. I mean, Brady, I think, really does try for the most part. I think Kristen gets into the idea of I can be bad, but I keep that away from Rachel, which no, you don't actually. I feel like, like we'll talk about this later, but like with Jennifer and Thomas, like his attitude is 100% feeding off of hers. And like, I don't think Kristen sees that. I will say the past couple, maybe year, I felt like she's really been trying to do the right thing regarding Rachel in terms of setting her straight about what she can do and not do. But I think she misses the point of I'm in this family. She's seeing how we all act towards each other and towards other people, and she's modeling that, and she feels like she can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so harsh. But if I were a judge looking at this situation, I would be like, keep this kid away from all these parents, which is, I mean, I felt that way about quite a few parents, to truth be told. They're just like, quote unquote stable, but then you look at their emotional support and I'm like, what the hell are you doing to your child?
Sorry. Kristen and Brady are both immature and Rachel know that and can easily manipulate them both. What I think it is, it's a lot of the same points, is that Rachel still has high hopes that the parents will get back together. I think she acts out because she takes after Kristen, and Kristen like sees that, but instead of nipping it in the bud, she just becomes Rachel's friend and makes her feel like it's okay, where Brady is trying to like, you know, get her to like on a better path, but then he becomes distracted with his needs.
Yep.
So
That
that's
part.
so it's a lot. And I
That
think
part.
and I wish that the show would just make Kristen and Brady come together as parents and become one. And here's the thing. I feel like this. I feel like if they banded together as parents for the sake of Rachel, if somehow naturally the spark starts back with them, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing that either one of them are forcing. It's
Yeah.
just like those calm moments where they just come together, they talk about Rachel, they go about their business. But then there's just something about this newer, more mature version of them that make them go, huh, like this is the person that I truly fell in love with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah. Let's it's speaking of forcing, let's talk about Brady's needs for a minute here. Brady is yet again gravitating towards a woman he thinks is wonderful. He's attracted to her because she's a good person, a good mom. And the writer Araceli says, stop trying to force completely zero chemistry down our throats.
Is it zero chemistry? You think they have zero chemistry?
Romantic chemistry? Yes. It's not there. I don't see it. Stop trying to force it down our throats. And then there's the practical viewer side of Araceli that says, Brady, I keep giving you the same advice. Stop being a dum-dum.
So I'm gonna disagree with the fact that there's zero chemistry. I feel like there's something, but is it a relationship or just like you're cute, I'm cute? Like
is platonic.
Hold on, not done yet. Is it a like a you're cute, I'm cute, we're going through stuff, we just kind of need another body, we can have fun together, but it doesn't have to be serious. I think that is what the problem is sometimes, is that
there we go.
They try to make them a couple where I wouldn't be mad if they were just like New Year's Eve. What are you up to? Nothing. Just gonna be at home. Okay. You want to hang out for New Year's? Sure. Then you look. It's like Happy New Year. Kiss. And then it's like,
yeah.
You know, like I wouldn't be mad at that. And then they just go about their separate ways. Like everything doesn't have to be a possible coupleship. Sometimes some things could be like, we hooked up, it was fun, maybe we'll do it again, but sure.
Everybody needs a rebound after a serious relationship. There's nothing wrong with it, but trying to say, oh, this could go somewhere. No, it doesn't need to go anywhere. In fact, for so many, many, many reasons, it shouldn't.
The best way to get over is to get under.
Yes, and to get yes, and then yes, and then once you get out from under, you say, okay, bye-bye. I like my space now.
In a weird way, I feel like this is a weird, like, subconscious, like, retaliation against Rachel in the sense of, like, he's had two women who he really liked, one more especially, like the Chloe situation, he completely messed that up. I'll even say he messed up the Ava situation. He allowed Rachel to get in between of those relationships. And now I feel like he's like, oh, Rachel's over here now for once. She's, in Bayview. She's a stone's throw away, yeah, but she's in Bayview. She's, quote unquote, possibly getting better. The prognosis from a doctor seems to be really well. So I feel like he's kind of like, okay, now I can kind of breathe and pursue something, even though I don't agree with it. I think he probably should, with who Rachel is, he needs his undivided attention completely on her and her health right now. And I think not that I don't want to say Kristen's right, because I think a lot of that is built into her own feelings about Brady and Sarah specifically regarding Rachel, but I do think she did make a point when she sort of harassed Sarah and saying, he needs his attention on his daughter. In a roundabout way, her reasoning was wrong, but I agree that his attention needs to be on Rachel right now.
Right now, he doesn't really need a relationship. His attention needs to be 100% on his daughter. If and when the day comes that she is somewhat stabilized, he needs to keep his family life over here and his relationship over here. He tries too hard and too fast to meld the two. He always does this. He tried to force Chloe down everybody's throats when Rachel was like, I'm not having it, and you're not, yes, it's throwing a temper tantrum, but the temper tantrum was coming from a real place, and it's the problem of he could have just kept those worlds separate. There was no reason that they had to touch. Nobody needs to be getting married, nobody needs to be moving into it. It's like, just parents can keep their personal lives and have their personal lives and just keep them separate from the kids. You don't need this is your new stepmommy. Oh, I really like her. Like, the kid is not your therapist.
Yeah. I will say, going back to the poll that we had, 56% said that Kristen and Rafe should explore.
Okay.
That they do that they do have a spark that they should explore. Yep. All right. One more person we need to quickly talk about. Xander.
Oh. He's on the road. I would say it's like 2 steps forward, a half a step back. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's sinking into some of his worst desires with firing Brady. We know what that was about, even though I think there was some validity there to Brady slacking a bit. I appreciate his take on it this week. He seems very self-aware of what he did, how it was wrong to do. And it even seemed like he wanted to, if Brady wanted to come back, he'd probably be okay with that.
Yeah, but the damage has been done.
Yeah.
Well, I think Xander, or Paul Telfer's #1 fan, had this to say about Xander this week.
Hi, my name is Brianne, and I'm from Florida, and I'm a huge Xander fan, so my comment is about Xander, or the lack thereof. We saw him once in the last 2 weeks, and he had the same conversation with Marlena that he's been having every time he has a scene with Marlena. So I try to stay positive, but we need more Xander, and we need him doing something different.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah. She's not wrong.
And I think that sums up everything.
Yeah.
Before we exit out of Bayview, though, I do want to go back to our favorite Tacoma, Washington family, because they had this interesting take on the folks at Bayview.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm Myrtle Hope.
I'm Patty. I'm Maxwell. I'm Patty's husband.
And we're from Tacoma, Washington. This week I ran it down. Who is working at Bayview? Nobody there's any qualifications. Why do they think some people want to have seen Holly or Chanel? Do they think that's helping her? And they're not doing great with Rachel either.
Her doctor is definitely no Dr. Marlena Evans who can help everybody.
And then when Chanel gets home, Johnny gets mad at Sophia like Johnny is in the cause of the problem. Free my girl Sophia Toy.
I prefer Johnny's to Devil.
Thank you.
I love these people.
It's now a family affair.
I love these people.
But they are right, though. It's like, what is happening at Bayview? Because no one is getting the help that they actually truly need.
One day, I'm going to bring on my cousin, the therapist, and we're going to have a sit down about all this.
You know, you keep saying that. I just need you to make it happen.
I'll talk to her.
Every week is like, my cousin, the therapist, she should do the sound off. My cousin, the therapist, she should come on. My cousin, the therapist, is she as busy as Dr. Marlena Evans?
The problem is she's busier. You know why? Because her people actually getting the help they need.
Well, we are looking forward to that. We'll have a therapist corner just for her, and she can tell us what should be done that's not being done. All right, let's move on to our last top storyline, which is The return of the magical P wand.
Yes.
I where to start? Okay, Dimitri.
He's living as if it's 2 years ago. He's magically thinking that their chemistry and their love will never go away, that nothing has changed, that he can just get rid of Gwen and Leo will dump Javi and all will be right with the world.
I just need him to understand that in this moment, you're not going to get Leo back.
He can't understand it because Leo is not doing a good job of explaining himself. Leo.
I think, and here's the thing, I think we can understand that Dimitri is kind of stuck in a time warp, but I think I need for him to snap out of it and fight for Leo.
Yeah.
Or here comes writer Tony again. Accept what Leo is saying and say, no matter what happens, you will always have a special place in my heart. Be loving to Leo, let him go, but then turn to Gwen and say, you dirty little bitch. I'm going to get back at you for everything you've done to me. And then just leave. And it's not even monetary stuff. It's just again, being so hurt that now I want to see hurt Dimitri. I want to see what the mirror side of Dimitri will come out now that the love of his life and his riches and everything got taken away from him. That's what I need with this return. I'm fine with Javi and Leo. I need them to work that out. Secretly, I still wish they had baby Trey, especially if they were going to give Chanel and Johnny their own baby. That's my own thing. But I need to see the side of Dimitri of the past years of my life have been taken away because of you. I'm going to get you while he's eating fries and drinking a beer.
I think I think he's trying to be the nice guy, which is admirable, I guess. But I think I don't know if he has really sat down. And I think this is why these emotions are now coming to him, to really sit down and do Dimitri was kidnapped. He was taken from me. Let me explore how I really feel about that. As opposed to just, I think what he's been saying is, I'm with Javi now, get away from me. Not, I'm completely over you. I processed my feelings for you. It's very much, I'm with Javi. He's the good guy. I've been doing all this amazing work the last year and I'm a better person. So I deserve to be with Javi because he's the good guy and he's the last guy I was with. And he's not, I don't know if he's being honest with himself about everything that's happening and really processing it. And I think that's why this week we're getting these flashbacks to how he really felt amazingly strongly about Dimitri, and Dimitri was everything and ride or die. And at this point, sorry, Javi, get together. Dimitri, forgive Gwen, give her half the money, and the three of you can rule Salem as the new villain trio. Because the one thing I do love is the chemistry between the three of them is still the best thing about them.
Yeah.
About these three characters coming together. And I think we liked them originally when it was Gwen and Leo as best friends and Dimitri coming in as the new guy before we knew he was gay. I think they all still have this chemistry. And my plot for them would be for all of them to team up in some way, shape, or fashion. But I don't think we're getting that. But
yeah, I mean, I like your way of thinking with that situation. I just think that some sort of progression needs to happen.
Yeah,
I think
they're starting to have the same conversations now over, and it's like, okay, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
the idea of Gwen and Vivian now teaming up is somewhat interesting.
I mean, I like that. And Luis Hareld, you better work.
Yes. Looks amazing.
I was like, okay, girl. Like, girl does not age. She is a Benjamin Button, honey. She sat perched on that phone like, hello.
She was like,
hello, Vivian.
Bothering me.
Do you hate the Von Leuschners as much as I do? Even more.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
And some issues of history too. Like, we could also bring back Carly, bring back Frankie, bring back the other Von Leuchters. I think would be nice. But I like the fact that they're at least referencing that the Von Leuchters have been around for decades on the show. We've had presence of them. We have family members who we know and love. So yeah.
I think EJ has every right to be upset with Gwen with bringing Dimitri back, now that we know for sure it was Gwen. Without kind of going over him, because I do think that everything that they were planning kind of got messed up with the return of Dimitri. And that's only because like his revenge on her is taking the money away from her, and the money is what EJ needed for his plan. And I think we just saw like a little crack in Gwen where, you know, she really hasn't gotten over what Leo did to her, and she wanted to get back at him. And I don't think she fully thought out that plan. I think she wanted to crush him.
Unfortunately, very, very short-sighted. I do agree. This was the one time I've been a little not uncomfortable, but I haven't liked when I see the imbalance between them, because I feel like they are full 50-50 partners. So I haven't loved when EJ tries to pull rank on Gwen to be like, I'm still the big bad Tamira, even though you're the one funding everything. I'm always kind of like, listen, if it wasn't for her, like, you'd be asked out. So I this is the 1 week where I was okay with her sort of, you know, being a little bit more timid to him, especially with that scene where she peeked around the corner of the Demir mansion like a little kid, like, you know, about to be on punishment, you know.
Oh, and the way he went. Did y'all see that move?
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, EJ, like, bring it down a notch.
Like,
when he gets too uppity regarding Gwen, you know, like, you're not above her.
Yeah, it's like it's an interesting dynamic, because she walked in timid and he was like, Gwen. And I was like, if I was Gwen, I would have said,
now listen, EJ.
Who are you talking to? You ain't talking to me. You bloody aren't talking to me, sir. Indubitably.
I just think I like their dynamic as a partnership of, you know what I mean? So I want to see that prevail in a good way. So
but there's some progression happening with that Versavex drug that they are working on.
Yes, and we have a she. We now know we have a she now.
Who do you think it is, audience?
Child, we all know who it is.
We all know who it is.
We all know who it is. We're just not going to say who it is just yet, because I can tell you now, I'm going to be disappointed.
I hope not. Please, writers, don't. This is the feather in their cap if they pull it off right. You know what I mean?
But the way they've been pulling things
that's what I'm saying. The track record isn't good, so we're hoping that there's a little bit of a turnaround with this reveal, with this person who may or may not come back. We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, the mice were alive, so yay.
It's alive. Mice. It's alive.
And it's still so interesting to me. I look at the new Dr. Rolf, and God, I always just keep thinking like, God, the casting for that was so good, because he does look, he looks like if the old Dr. Ralph was like, I just want to enhance myself, and gave himself a drug. And then like, this is like the better version of him. Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, those were your top storylines from Days of Our Lives. And before we head into our tidbits, I just want to give a quick reminder to you all. Please make sure you show us some love on all social media platforms. Also, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. Please hit subscribe and the bell notification. Also, make sure you join us on our exclusive members only page for $4.99. And also join us on your favorite podcast station in case you can't watch live or can't stand to see our faces. Go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or where all podcasts can be found. Also, please make sure to show your love to JLJ Media on YouTube and where podcasts can be found. Tell them that the fine folks at Dishin Days sent you. Now, let's quickly head over into some tidbits. Yes, these are the small little things that happen throughout the show that we need to talk about. So our first tidbit is wedding website. The wedding website. Wedding website.
Yeah. I feel like this plan is not going to go well.
It's a bad plan. It's terrible,
Yeah.
no good, very bad plan.
Yeah.
Because whoever sorry, before we do that, they're like, who do you think it is, Justin, Tony, and Araceli? We're not gonna say.
Oh, no. We can.
We're not gonna
if we
say.
want.
Yeah. We
I think we probably already said it on a previous show. So
probably. Okay, anyway, back to that tidbit. So either kidnap her or shoot Alex, do something, because something needs to happen in this storyline.
Yeah.
And whoever is sitting there monitoring and listening to them through that picture frame, clear as day, by the way. I don't know what Wi-Fi they are using, but that is great because they can hear everything clearly. You're telling them the plan step by step by step by step.
I know, like, yeah.
And I don't know, for somebody who's there to protect them, you would think that they would just be checking in on everything that's being sent there. It's
picture frame, yeah.
It's just so, like, everything is so, like, you have too much experience to be this lackadaisical about it that I'm just like, kidnap her. Do something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll see how this plan takes off.
Yeah. Set your website up, honey, and then let us know how it goes. All right. Moving on to forgiveness, maybe, sort of.
Oh, sorry. Oops, sorry.
Kind of.
Different one. Yeah. Is all forgiven? Is the custody debacle forgiven now?
I can't with this. Honestly, this pissed me off. I've been pissed off about this entire storyline for a very long time, but I think I'm even more pissed off that it just settled so abruptly, that everything was nice. Like this man tried to take your children from you and all is forgiven? No, I can't ever imagine that quickly forgiving someone who tried to take my kids from me.
I would have said, you want to squash all this? How about this? Right in there that you have to forgive Kat and understand that she had to do what she had to do for her family. How about that?
Also, for me, it was the telling afterward. Like, we always thought you were a great father, Chad. We never doubted that. I'm like, yeah, you did. When you tried to take custody from
very
someone,
much did. Yes,
that they are a good parent.
Saying his judgment was impaired and blah blah blah. And like, no, his judgment is not impaired. He was just able to find forgiveness in a person that you were not. That could have been a very, very easily a thing you just disagree on, and then you could have back then handled it civilly. But no, you had to say, oh, he's a bad parent because he's not listening and we can't trust him, and why is he doing this, that, and the other thing? And I just
I'm just glad that Melinda was like, I don't think you should sign it. And I was like, thank you. They shouldn't have that whole clause in there about Kat. Like, Thank you. And then Melinda was just like, well, fine. If you like it, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch though the little thing with Justin later when he got the message? I was like, oh, where are we going here? He got the message about filing and he was like, oh, I'll do it later because he was preoccupied with Bonnie. And I was like, why would they insert that in a completely different storyline? I was like, what's gonna go with that? Yeah.
I can only hope that this means good news for Chad, that it means that if it's not filed with the court, then it's the kind of contract is null and void, because he never lost custody of the kids.
Yeah, he still
to my knowledge. So it's, Jack and Jennifer they didn't have custody of the children. They simply took the children to Boston when Chad was missing. They don't have any legal rights before or after this to have actual custody of them.
Mm-hmm. And I could totally see Melinda being like, he forgot, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? She's not going to press the issue to like get a copy to Chad, or, you know what I mean? Like, from that standpoint, I could see his side of it, forgetting about it. And then whatever happens, if that was a clue that Justin is either going to forget to do it or something else is going to come of it. Maybe, I don't know. But
maybe that's just like how Marlena was like, Javi and Leo, you have 10 days to file your thing. And maybe somehow, maybe Justin's going to be too preoccupied.
Right.
With the pink fuzzies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Moving on. All's fair in business, Lord.
This one I'm interested in.
I'm okay, but here's the thing though. I thought about this. The fact that Johnny has had many different jobs, the social media content at Titan, professor at the University of Salem, now sitting CEO of Demera. Which role do we want to see him in?
I was fine with the social media stuff at Titan.
Yeah.
That was a nice way of balancing his creativity and also getting him away from the family fold a little. Like,
I just like having him bounce around like that. And I'm also trying to wrap my head around, you can't work at Titan.
That's ridiculous.
And then be the CEO of Demera.
And you're already Titan,
right.
Titan.
And then you're already kind of in muddy waters, because now we all know you about to publish that book with Bonnie. And now it's going to be a rival thing between that, because I feel like it's going to be a success, and then it's going to be like, well, how did you get your hands on it? But he talked to Kate, and Kate was just like, go for it. But I think there's going to be an issue with Xander.
Well, we still don't know what the plan is. Remember, there's Kate and Xander are tricking him somehow. We just don't know how they are.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, remember they had the scene?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Tony,
is this something you missed again, Tony? Yes, this is not a storyline that is meant to show how brilliant Johnny is going to be as a CEO. This is a storyline in which Johnny, in his temporary capacity, gets tricked into doing something detrimental to the family company.
Yeah, Kate and Xander had a scene where they're setting up Johnny for something. They just didn't show the audience what it was. So Kate proposed the plan. Xander said he's accepted it. That's why he casually left the book on the table for Johnny to see a couple weeks ago. That was part of the plan.
Fooled me.
Yeah. So we, the audience, don't know what the trap is. But I also feel like this is part of something bigger, because we're getting go with me here. I know it's a little bit of a stretch. We're getting Roman and Marlena spending a ton of time together recently. That's been coming up. We're getting Kate showing, remorsefulness over the duality of Stefano. We're getting the Roman and Kate scenes of, them, you're happily married for now. We're getting Kate plotting against Roman's grandson somehow. We don't know what that plot is. I don't know. I feel like this is this is a roundabout way to give us an ending of a couple. I don't know. I don't want that to be the case, but I feel like they're setting up like a long plot here for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it. I like Kate and Roman together. I don't know if I'm not really interested in a Marlena and Roman part 3 or 4 or wherever they're at right now in the 40-year history. So I'm hoping that's not the case and I'm wrong, but I feel like they're dropping little nuggets here that they're trying to converge with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not crazy about Kate sort of plotting against both Johnny and Theo, two people who she's been, especially Theo, she's had a very grandmother relationship with. She seems to have a lot of affection for Johnny. And even in the scenes with, I thought Lauren did great, where Johnny was praising her about like kind of not mentoring him, but giving him really great business advice. And you see Kate sort of be a little bit like reticent or a little bit uncomfortable with that. I thought was really good. So again, I guess it depends on what this plan is between her and Xander to set Johnny up, or specifically set Johnny and Demira up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's something that will have a lot of ripple effects on other people. I don't know, but it's interesting. I'm interested to see what it is.
Well, fool me.
Yeah. It's like, I can't.
Fooled
In your
me.
defense, Tony, it happened 3 weeks ago. Again, the pacing we're talking about. This was a one scene between two characters that is now coming to fruition where, what would have been great? A flashback of Xander and Kate talking before
That would have been. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, that was that. Last but not least, our pledges.
Yeah.
What
is this?
I don't care about this at all.
What is this plot?
I think we can all safely say we don't care about this at all. The only thing that this storyline serves to remind us is that they're in college, and that's it.
And I'm sorry, Gabby, you didn't want to nip anything in the bud when you saw Ari coming downstairs, hungover, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, that was the time to bring it up, not now.
And also, every parent's thing is to do better than me. I'm glad that she had the conversation of like, I saw your little fake ID. I was going to cut it up, but you know what? You got to learn from this. Just make good choices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's kind of relinquishing the leash a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also need you to be a little more Latin and being like, oh, if I see you drinking like that again, I'm going to use my, what's it called? Chocula? Araceli?
Count the what?
The slipper.
The slipper.
Chancla. I thought, oh my God, I don't know what you were trying to say, chancla.
Well, you halfway were paying attention.
Yeah,
but
I thought you were trying to like some roundabout way say Count Chocula or something.
I'll throw my chancla at you. So anyway, that was that. All right.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say the pills. I was like, what are we doing with these pills that we're highlighting and having a 3-minute conversation about? I was like, where are we going with this?
I don't know.
Only thing I like is that we're seeing Ari and Holly together. We like these two characters. Hopefully this is something interesting, a plot for them that has nothing to do maybe hopefully with Tate or with, the family stuff. Maybe this is something for them to explore or get into. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, that was your week of days. But of course, the week wouldn't be complete without a thumbs up, thumbs down from Debbie, who's here to sound off.
This is Debbie from Tennessee with thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up to Kristen, and believe it or not, Rafe. I'm interested to see this pairing, and hopefully they're going to team up against EJ. That'll be good. And thumbs down to Steve. Dude, you're getting beat by a picture frame. Let's step it up. You can do better than this. Let's get some action going in this story. That's it. Bye.
I mean, I think every week I'm loving the thumbs up, thumbs down more and more. I love. First, it was Me World who had his own segment at one point, and then now it's Debbie. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right, everybody. It is now time for our part of the show, which are our segments, and we are going to start with mine, which is wait a minute. What is going on here?
Did it disappear?
I feel like it did. Do you see it?
Wait. Under media, right? In the
I didn't do it.
Guys. Oh yeah, where is it? Sorry, everyone. Technical. I feel like what's the name did another upgrade because even when I do some clicks, it's different than it was before. Wait.
Oh, got it.
You see?
All right, everyone. Here we are. We're going to go with our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 Snaps Award goes to someone who said, listen, don't do that. But he did it anyway. Melinda, who tried to warn Chad about signing this agreement and said it was not a good idea. We all feel like it's not a good idea. And she was the only person that looked at him and said, no, don't do it. So for having the balls, as Melinda always does, to tell Chad, don't sign something, he did it anyway. And she was just like, well, if you like it, I love it. You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
Somebody had to be a friend because nobody else was. All right. And of course, today we do not have Caption That because Michael Mattis is doing Grammy things, but we are going to travel back in time to
Those were the days.
All right, for this one, I will admit I fudged a little bit just because traditionally, before the show moved to Peacock, this would be like the week before Sweeps. So it's usually like set up for all the amazing big plot lines. And I didn't want to do one that I already do or have done a few different times. But I'm taking you guys back to January 23rd, 2009. This is actually when John and Marlena got married for the second to the last time or the third to the last time. Back in 2009, and they left the show for 2 years. This is when Drake and Deidre took we'll say hiatus from the show for 2 years. They eventually come back 2 years later in 2011. It ended Drake's run for 23 years, and then Deidre's second run of 18 years. But this was a very, if you guys remember, a very pivotal time in the show where they were testing the longevity of the show and sort of moving Alison Sweeney up a little bit into the star by having both Drake and Deidre off the show for a while. It only ended up being 2 years. It did not start out that way, but thankfully they survived. I think Alison Sweeney very much stepped up and stepped into place, but this was a very interesting time where we were saying goodbye to John and Marlena for the first time in, like I said, almost 18 to 23 years of the show. So yeah, that was January 23rd, 2009.
Those were the days.
Yes. And now, everybody, it is now time for
It's a gift.
And this week's
It's a
gift
gift.
goes... Oh, thank you.
It's a gift.
This week's It's a Gift goes to Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hyde giving a masterful performance of laughter and horror. Just the way that she seamlessly goes from one emotion to the next, that hysterical, like, I can't believe this is happening, WTF, how what is my life right now? Stacey Hyde, chef's kiss to your performance. Loved it.
It's like that little boy that they interviewed about school, and he was like,
"Oh yeah,
I'm really not."
Yeah,
masterful.
And that was
It's a gift.
And now
It's a gift.
It's what?
It's a gift.
I shouldn't have things on loop. And now it is time for
News and gossip.
We are starting off with a big congrats to our friend of the show, Miss Tina Wong, who she wrote, directed, and stars in her new short film called Stash, opposite Carla Mosley from Beyond the Gates. The short has also been invited to be a part of Disorient Films' virtual program. So information on heading over, getting more information, and seeing the film, you can head over to @Disorient Film on Instagram. So big congrats to Tina. This is not her first short film. She does many of them. She's very much into writing and directing and producing her own stuff. So this is her latest one. So definitely go check it out. She always does amazing, great work.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and next up we have birthdays to celebrate. Happy birthdays to Tyler Joseph Andrews and Matthew Ashford, who both celebrated their birthdays this past week. Happy birthdays to them. And if you are gearing up for the Super Bowl next weekend, you might see a familiar daytime face. Robert Scott Wilson is going to be featured in a new Super Bowl commercial for Michelob Ultra. And he stars alongside Lewis Pullman and Kurt Russell. Yeah, that Kurt Russell. So check it out. Check out a preview at Rob Scott Wilson and be sure to tune in the day of the Super Bowl next Sunday. After, of course, you watch us here at Dishin Days.
Because next Sunday is our anniversary.
Yay! Yes. So you can watch us and then you can watch the game. Yes. Next up, Lisa Rinna, one of our favorite Billy Reeds, has a new book coming out titled You Better Believe I'm Going to Talk About It. It's going to be available February 24th. It's now available for pre-order. And Lisa will be on a small book tour beginning on February 21st here at the Grove in LA. For all other tour dates, go to @Lisa Rinna on Instagram.
Yeah. Next up, we have a little bit of a recap. We've been telling you about Starstruck Fan Events event with Julie Dove, who is starring in Misery. And those of us here at Dishin Days, I don't think we have the pick, do we? Okay. We went last night and went to go take in opening night of Misery, and just want to give Julie Dove a big congrats. Both her and Sean Ferris. They did a really great job on screen or on stage, I should say. And yeah, this is still from Michael Mattis, who was able to get some stills of the play and them in rehearsals here. So yeah, this is a little preview of what you're going to see if you do have tickets or will attend these Starstruck Fan Events. And just a reminder for that one is, Misery Loves Company event. That's Sunday, February 15th. This is their last show of the production. It includes the ticket to the play, the reception afterwards, and opportunity for some photo ops. Tickets and information there. You can go to starstruckfanevents.com, or tickets to just see the play if you happen to be in LA during its run is miseryplayla.com.
Next up, we have a new event from Star Image Entertainment. It's Lindsay Godfrey's birthday with special guest Paul Telford. That will be in Montreal this summer, specifically July 11th, 2026. If you want to celebrate all things Lindsay and help her ring in another beautiful year, go to eventbrite.ca and search Star Image Entertainment and get your tickets for her birthday celebration.
Yeah, and last but not least, we have some day players band news. The day players announced late last week that Wally Kurth is going to be taking a little bit of an extended break from the band on their current upcoming dates to focus on some family time. We've talked about it before, but Wally does double duty on both days and GH. It has had some bigger storylines, I think, on GH in the this past few months here. So he's going to take a little time and spend some time with family. But good news that Scott Reeves has joined the band. He's actually filled in before, if you've seen them. So you may have seen Scott sort of come along and help out the band in other dates, but he has joined. It's going to step in and help fill in for Wally. And the band said Wally, of course, is an important part of the band, and there's hope he rejoins in the near future after this little brief hiatus. So yeah, I'm going to wish Wally well on getting some rest and some family time and those of you still interested in the Day Players Band, seeing it with Scott Reeves now at it, you can go to thedayplayersband.com for tickets and info.
The Day Players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone, that has been
News and gossip.
And now let's take a peek at what's happening this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Next week on Days of Our Lives.
She's tried to kill Alex twice now.
You can't believe that Jeremy is capable of that.
I certainly don't want to.
Do you have any reason why I'm talking to you today, Mr. Saleko?
Is this the man who hired you? Bro, it sure is.
All is going according to plan.
The baby she's carrying, it's a Demira.
The son I already have is a Demira.
Despite his flaws, he loved us fiercely, and we will honor his legacy and continue it. The house of Demira will not fall.
Okay.
I'll tell you what has fallen is these promos.
Oh my God.
We always have
anywho, not peeking around the corner like Gwen.
It what?
I said not peeking around the corner like Gwen.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Well, it should be interesting to see what's going to happen. Yeah. All right. Well, a couple of things before we sign off, everyone. Please be sure to fill out our survey. We want to hear from you about what you like and don't like about Dishin Days so that we can continue to improve. I have put the link. I'll do it again. That is the link to our form. Please fill that out if you haven't already. I'll also post it on our social media platforms. Also, next Sunday, February 8th, we will be celebrating 11 years of Dishin Days. That's right. 11 years ago on February 8th, we began this little journey and this little podcast, and we will be celebrating. If you guys want, feel free to send us any welcomed like anniversary emails or videos or anything like that. You can send them to fanmaildd@gmail.com. That is fanmaildd@gmail.com. Send us some well wishes on our 11th anniversary. So make sure you do that as we celebrate 11 years of Dishin Days. And we have something very special for you next week. So make sure you tune in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this week's episode of Dishin Days. Before we head out, make sure you go show Michael Mattis some love over on Instagram and X at ML Mattis and MLM Images LA. No wonder he gets so tongue-tied. So make sure you go show him some love, everybody. And of course, Justin Lee Hareld, where can they find you?
Find me at Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli Aviles, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. And of course, you can find us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. We want to thank you once again for joining us. Please be sure to, if you are in LA, please support Julie Dove in her production of Misery. Go check out the show. It is well worth it and very good. And also, show some love to Lisa Rinna when she does her book tour in LA. You never know, you might see us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week to celebrate our 11th year of giving you a full dish of our favorite soap opera, Peacock's Days of Our Lives. Until then, everyone, have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself, be safe, and be sure to tune in to Peacock's Days of Our Lives every Monday through Friday, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's right. If not, wait for it to pop up. Bye, everybody. Happy Grammy Sunday.
Happy Grammy Sunday. Bye.